Hello and welcome back to Curve Stomp City and another episode of ECW Lives on TEW 2016. And before we get into the next Revolt and the November to Remember pay-per-view, we're just going to go over the house show that we held in Osaka, Japan, which we now hold monthly. We've got 46D, which has improved our popularity in the region. And we started with a promo with Reina introducing the crowd to the show. This was just to tick the box of sex appeal for the audience. And then Garudo, who we got on a local worker deal, defeated Akintoshi Saito, Tajiri and Super Crazy. And I like his mask, that's pretty much why he won. Then AJ Styles and Devitt defeated Super Delphin and Gamma, who was also a local worker, to retain the ECW World Tag Team titles. And then we go into CM Punk defeating Tiger Mask. And it's a pretty big match for CM Punk, going by Tiger Mask's popularity in Japan. And then in the main event, John Cena defeats Juventud Guerrera, and I'm pretty sure that's John Cena's first main event. And he got the best match of the show. And I'm pretty sure Juventud Guerrera main evented the last one. Yeah, he did. And yeah, so he's quite big in Japan. So we used him in the main event. John Cena went over. But yeah, that aside, I'm just going to go straight into the next episode of Revolt. And we start with a pre-show match just for the crowd. And a terrible pre-show match. Joey Matthews defeated Julio De Niro, who I think we had at the start. I'm pretty sure we've had both of these at one point. But these are on local worker deals just to test them out. 5 minutes 25, Joey Matthews pinned De Niro. And they had pretty good chemistry, which lifted the match. The announcing quality and colour commentary did well. And 32 for De Niro, 31 for Joey Matthews, so pretty much the same rating. And 33 E plus for that, so not great, to be honest. Nothing that stands out to make me want to sign them anyway. And then a video airs from earlier this week showing the ECW Originals. They are shown being released from police custody, and a van is waiting for them outside the police station to drive them away. And the reporter asks them what the news is, and they just smirk and walk off. And Bula McGillicuddy helped Dreamer during this segment, so she must have been there to pick him up. Let's say she was driving the van. Announcing quality and colour commentary lifted the segment, and the angle got the show off to a strong start and got the crowd hotter, and the performance of Rhino was fantastic, and Spike underperformed. So Rhino's doing really well. Sandman is learning to show more charisma, and this got a 60C. And then the opening promo of the show, Paul Heyman is in the ring, and he says, "Last week's Revolt changed the company forever. And I know half of you support the ECW Originals, and that is a problem for me. The disruptions they have caused has meant our pay-per-view this Sunday is in danger, and we only have one match confirmed, and we need more. And after a long week, I have decided that I have to do what is best for our company, and that means the ECW Originals will be on the pay-per-view. November to Remember will be ECW Originals versus the New Injection across the card, and we will have every ECW belt on the line." And it says, "Sandman, since you have only just returned, you will not be in a championship match, but you will take on one of the most feared wrestlers in ECW, Vampiro. Then Little Spike, you will get a junior heavyweight title match. And Dreamer, you will take on Japanese legend Keiji Muto for the Osaka Heavyweight Championship. Just incredible. You go face to face with Samoa Joe for the TV title, and that leaves Rhino. And you will meet your former friend, CM Punk. And that's for the World Heavyweight Championship, the ECW one. The GPWC is not on the card. But yeah, this got a 68C plus, a really good from Heyman. And yeah, so Heyman's a good businessman. He knows that half the crowd want to see the ECW Originals, despite what they've done. So he's booked them on the show. And the crowd are 50-50. So it's going to be the Originals versus the New Injection, which probably a lot of you saw coming, and no worker improvements. But yeah, 68C plus. And then in a battle that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Vampiro defeats Tajiri in 5 minutes 49 by submission with a guillotine choke. And Vampiro got a 79, so good rating for him. And he hasn't caused any trouble recently, so I'm impressed with him again. And 63 for Tajiri. But yeah, this is a dominating performance for Vampiro, of Wild Brawl, Vampiro to dominate. And Tajiri's improving in rumble skills. Yeah, 68C plus, a great match. And Vampiro and Angel Williams are in the ring following the victory. And the lights go out, and when the lights come back on, Vampiro is holding a kendo stick. And then the lights go out again, and they disappear. So a little bit of a twist to the usual ending to Vampiro's matches. And it looks like he's ready for the hardcore battle. And 66C plus. And in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Kenta and Steen defeated the Kings of Wrestling in 12 minutes 10 when Kevin Steen defeated Chris Hero by pinfall, and this got a 53C minus. Kenta and Kevin Steen have great chemistry, which is good. Well, it's great actually. And then Kevin Steen had an in-ring performance of 51, 56 for Kenta, 41 for Hero, Cesaro 39. So they're getting better, I think. The Kings of Wrestling. And Hero's improving in Rumble skills. But yeah, that's a good match for the mid-card. Then after the match, AJ Styles and Fergal Devitt enter the arena, and they get into the ring and both offer a handshake to Kenta and Steen to show their appreciation ahead of the tag title match this Sunday, and they refuse and leave the ring. And AJ Styles and Devitt hold their titles high above their heads as Steen and Kenta walk up the ramp. And it's got a 37D minus, so not a great promo. But yeah, it does its job. And then in a bout that had superb wrestling and great heat, Rhino drew with Minoru Tanaka when the referee lost control and stopped the match. The match had the interference of Just Incredible, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Spike, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and finally Keiji Muto. So everyone pretty much just got involved. And this got a B78, it's a great match. And the main events are really starting to show improvements. And technical ability is going up for Rhino. And 83 for Tanaka, 84 for Rhino. So Tanaka is really on the main event level now. And then the new injection and the original storyline has started with this segment. So I'm starting to use the storylines now to get better ratings. I'm going to try and use them properly. I've been neglecting them a bit so far. And then the referee calls the main event off and it ends in a draw. Rhino, Spike, Dreamer, Sandman, Incredible stand face to face with CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Keiji Muto and Minoru Tanaka. But the new injections are outnumbered when suddenly the lights go out and Vampiro appears stood in the middle of the two groups. He looks left at the ECW Originals. He looks right at the new injection. And then out of nowhere, he jumps the Originals, igniting a mass brawl. The new injection cleared the ring and the ECW Originals are forced into the crowd. And the commentary say business is just picked up here on ECW Revolt. This Sunday will absolutely be a November to remember. And the performance of Rhino was good. Sandman underperformed, so did Punk. Samoa Joe looked good, and the storyline has advanced. C plus 68. And we end with a good rating of 71C plus, increasing our popularity in 18 regions. And in terms of TV rating, we got 1.89, which is good. We need to beat that 2 mark to get to the next level, I think. And Fergal Devitt is feeling the effects of a grueling recent schedule. He's asked to take it into account when booking him. That's fine. And before we continue, I just want to release some people that aren't being used. The ideal roster is 26, so we can afford to release 6 people. So I'm sorting it by male, active wrestlers, and pay-per appearance. It's got Aries, he's not done much. Felon hasn't done much apart from jobbing to Vampiro. Liz Mark Jr. is never at the shows, he's always somewhere else, so I think we're going to release him. That will save us $700 in downside. Monsuta hasn't done anything, although he is good, especially physical wise, but we're going to release him. Again, Super Crazy hasn't done a lot. Let's just check out what sort of ratings he gets for us. He's not doing excellent. I think we can afford to release him. Super Delphin has just been a jobber. and he's on quite a high wage because of his popularity in Japan, so I think we're going to get rid of him. Let's check the roster now. 28, so I think we'll leave it there for now. AJ Styles is after a pay rise, and we're going to give him a 50%. He's annoyed at the decision. That's not good. And before we go any further, we're just going to look at the card for November to Remember. So we've got Sandman taking on Vampiro. We've got the Tag Team Championships on the line where the champions, the Phenomenals, AJ Styles and Fergal Devitt, take on Kenta and Steen. The Osaka Heavyweight Championship will be defended by Keiji Muto to take on Tommy Dreamer. The ECW World Junior Heavyweight Championships on the line against Spike Dudley, with the champion Minoru Tanaka defending. And the World Television Championship is on the line when Samoa Joe defends against Just Incredible. And in the main event, we have the former friends Rhino and CM Punk going head to head for Rhino's World Heavyweight Championship. And we're going to be holding the event from Binghamton, New York at the Binghamton Events Center. And hopefully we can fill it out. Capacity is 7,500. We're expecting 7,418. So with a good show, it's possible. So we begin the show with a weapon on a pole match. And in a decent match, Vampiro defeated Sandman in 10 minutes by submission with a guillotine choke. So I'm guessing he got the stick and beat him down and then submitted him. And this gives the New Injection a lead, and it is now 1-0. And Vampiro had an in-ring performance of 80, and Sandman had 48, and the Originals versus the New Injection storyline continued. And the match got the show off to a strong start. It's a C plus 71, which is really good. And no improvements. And Sandman was drunk, which is why we got rid of him in the first place. In a decent match, Samoa Joe defeats Just Incredible by submission with a Dragon Sleeper. And Samoa Joe makes defense number 1 of his ECW World Television title. And it is 2-0 to the New Injections. And 65C. And this was a submission match, so all these stipulations have been added. Let's just say it was on the website before the show. But yeah, 72 for Joe, 54 for Just Incredible, and again, the storyline has advanced. And Samoa Joe is improving in performance skills, which is good. And yeah, good show so far. And we did sell it out, by the way, 7,500. So it must be a good show. And I can perform better in matches that suit my style. Putting me in technical based matches does not play to my strengths. Okay, that's cool. Same with Just Incredible. And in a bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Spike defeats Minoru Tanaka by pinfall with a quick roll up, and Spike wins the ECW World Junior Heavyweight title. And the ECW Originals pull one back with a roll up, and Spike is the new champion. And C plus 68. And yeah, Spike got an in-ring performance of 50 and 83 from Minoru Tanaka, and again, the storyline has advanced. And Spike is improving, which is good. And he's still quite young in the game. So yeah, I see potential with Spike. And yeah, he's now champion. So it's 2-1 overall. And they have a championship each so far. And in a bout that had decent wrestling but little heat, the Phenomenals defeated Kenta and Steen in 9 minutes 40 when AJ Styles defeated Kevin Steen by pinfall with a dropkick Styles Clash. And this is the finishing move I've given them as a team. So AJ sets up for the Styles Clash. Devitt hits the drop kick to the face, and then the Styles Clash commences. And the Phenomenals make defense number 2 of ECW World Tag Team titles. And again, AJ Styles carries the match. What a worker we've got. And Fergal Devitt seemed off his game. Again, great chemistry for Kenta and Steen. 68 for Styles, 54 for Devitt and Steen, and 56 for Kenta. And the Phenomenals storyline started with this segment. And 65C. And after the match, the Phenomenals and Kenta and Steen shake hands following the refusal during the week on Revolt. But this time they do shake hands, and 35E plus. So a good sign of respect there from both sides. And then in a good match, Tommy Dreamer defeats Keiji Muto in 12 minutes 43 by pinfall with a pile driver. and Tommy Dreamer is now the ECW World Osaka Heavyweight Champion. And as planned, this match brought the fans down a little bit. This was designed to calm them before the main event. And 64 for Dreamer, 67 for Muto, and the storyline advances. And Tommy Dreamer is improving in Rumble skills, and 63C. And it's now 2-1 to the Originals in terms of belts. And then in the main event, this is a 30-man Iron Man match. And decent reaction from the crowd. Rhino defeats CM Punk in 30 minutes by 3-1. And Rhino makes defense number 9 of his ECW World Heavyweight title. And this match got the crowd hot at 82 from Rhino, 61 from Punk, and it doesn't look like it's quite main event standard yet. So I probably made the right decision to keep the belt on Rhino. 71C plus, storyline advances, and there were no improvements. And Rhino celebrates with his championships, and CM Punk looks distraught. He was so close. Rhino just had the edge tonight. What a match. And yeah, 65C. Rhino came across well, storyline, etc. And then the show increased our popularity in 17 regions with a 69C plus, so hopefully that meets the requirements. And just incredible things, Kenta is a star. And the TV rating in Japan for November to Remember was 0.02. So remember, that's just Japan. And then the pay-per-view buy rates were 0.12. There's been an incident involving Sandman, and he wrestled drunk last night. And we need to fine him. Nothing happened, so he's probably going to still do it. It looks like we've turned a good profit this month. We're up to nearly 500,000 again. And we're going to leave with taking a look at the champions. An ECW Osaka Heavyweight Champion is now Tommy Dreamer. Still, the World Heavyweight Champion is Rhino. Spike is the new World Junior Heavyweight Champion. And Samoa Joe is the Television Champion. So the Originals now have 3 belts, and the new injection have 1, with Samoa Joe leading the way for them. And of course, outside of that storyline, we've got AJ Styles and Fergal Devitt with the Tag Team Champions. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, hit the like button and subscribe for more TEW 2016 and general wrestling content. Until next time, peace.